Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So today I am going to do a video on me using oil pastels for my very last layer. Now I have done videos where I've incorporated oil pastels in my first layers and my middle layers, but I don't think I've done a video where I have solely used my oil pastels as my very last layer. Now this is a way that most mixed media artists do use oil pastels, and I have brought everything out that I have. Like I have my Senneliers, I have my lower grade oil pastels, I have some Caran d'Ache oil pastels, I've got these over here which I picked up on my travels somewhere. I'm not even sure where they're made. I think I got these from in Prague, and I think they're a European brand actually. So anyways, before I move on to this spread, I just wanted to thank all of you so much who left kind, supportive comments about my video, about my art journal getting published. I so very much appreciate it. I read all of them, I took them in, and it warmed my heart to no end. So thank you so much for doing that. And the second thing I wanted to bring up is that if there is any interest at all on me doing a video on the work of Dr. Clarissa Pinkola SDs, please let me know, because there is nobody who is more suited to talk about Dr. SDs than me. I swear to God, because I absolutely love this woman. And I have been reading her and listening to her for years, and she has so much gold to share, especially as women creatives. I have not come across anybody else with her depth and breadth of soul knowledge combined with intellectual knowledge and the ability to talk about it in such a way that it just gets to the heart of you. So please let me know if you would like me to make a video about Dr. Estes and her work. So anyways, I'm going to jump right into this. Now, I do really like this spread, but I just feel like it's unfinished somehow, and I am thinking that oil pastels are really going to kind of make it come to life more. So, I mean, I could be wrong on that. I don't know, but that's just my general feeling. So, as usual, I want to keep my Senneliers for last because they are like really thick and creamy. So I tend to use them as my very, very last layer, even amongst oil pastels. Like that's going to be the last thing I put on. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to get some blues because I want to work on this part right here. And this is my Caran d'Ache. So it is a really good quality oil pastel. And I just want to make some kind of lines and marks and like just lay it down, you know. I want to get some depth going here. And now when you layer oil pastels, you can get some really rich, delicious color feels. Like I am just kind of like putting some green and then some blue and then some green again. And now I'm just gonna blend it with my finger. And now I'm gonna use my lower grade oil pastels. I think I want like a green and a blue, a couple of blues maybe. And So I'm sorry if the camera is shaking, but when I use my oil pastels, I do tend to shake like everything. And actually it's probably not the camera that's shaking, it's my table, but it's gonna maybe end up looking like the camera is shaking if you're watching it, but it's just the oil pastels because I'm just kind of making like I'm working like I'm moving it really hard. So now I'm gonna use it on its side, and I'm just gonna kind of like I'm applying a lot of pressure here. Oh, I love that. So now I was really stepping outside of my comfort zone here in terms of the color choices, and the faces are all abstract. This work is actually from quite a few years ago. In the beginning, when I was drawing faces that were abstract or blank faces, I had a lot of psychological trouble doing that because it didn't feel right to me. And so it took me quite a while to get over that hurdle. And it involved a lot of journaling and kind of really seeing like, where does this belief system come from where I can't draw or paint abstract faces? So it was a really interesting journey for me to finally be okay with, me having a face that was, say, blue or red or didn't have any facial features. But I remember when I was in Oaxaca many years ago on my art retreat, I talked about it, that I was having a lot of trouble, drawing abstract faces. And I wanted to draw abstract faces. But sometimes we have psychological blocks that we just really have to examine and bring to light and try to work past them. And that's what I had to do. And I'm glad I did, because I love drawing and painting abstract faces. So I'm really loving this color field over here. And I just feel like before it was flat and now it really kind of came to life. And I'm going to try to do the same thing with this green. It just needs a little more shadows here. So I'm going to bring in actually a purple, which is a color I generally tend to have trouble using, but maybe over this green, the green is going to neutralize it a little bit. And see, it just gives it some depth here. And so much of this is just experimenting and playing and just seeing what you like. And there was nothing wrong with this spread the way it was. It could have been complete, but I just felt like it was too flat. So now what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to work on the hair a little bit here and bring in some blues, because I feel like that is too flat. And bring in a little bit of the greens here. And I'm gonna have to bring something in here too, because I don't want to keep the oil pastels just to these two figures. Like, I need to get my eye moving around the page here. So I think what I'm gonna do is, let me see if I can bring some orange into this like dress over here. think I'm going to bring some pinks into the background here with my oil pastels. And now you can use the oil pastel in a few different ways. You can blend it like I'm doing over here, or you can use it to make like scribbly marks, and then you can write with it. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to use the oil pastel, so it's just a matter of you experimenting and figuring out, you know, the best way you want to use it. And in a given piece, you can use it in many different ways. Like I'm gonna get out a dark color, maybe a black even, and just kind of make some marks here. And that just like makes it come to life. It gives it so much depth. So let me see where else I can kind of bring this line here. I think I might. Bring it all up in here. And I'm going to use a blue for the outline of this because I'm really loving that. And look how it just makes it leap off the page. And now I'm going to use it in a bit more of a scribbly way. And I'm not going to blend it. Like I want to have that kind of rough look here. And I don't want to overdo it, so I think I am going to call this done, because I can probably work on this for, you know, another 10 or 15 minutes. And sometimes I have to kind of remind myself, like, you know, I can stop here. Like I don't need to continue on. Oh, but I do want to add, I did bring out my senneliers, so I do want to add some of this. Now this is a white, it's a fat oil stick. There's a name for it. I don't know if they're called fat sticks but it's a sennelier jumbo. And I do want to use this. And do you see, like when you don't blend it and you just kind of make like just a back and forth mark, like look at that. It just brings it to life. It just creates so much interest. So I am going to blend this a little bit here. And just add And you always want to use your senneliers last because it is the creamiest, the juiciest, and because they're so expensive, like you don't want to cover up your senneliers like ever. You just always want to make them shine and show through. So I think I am done. I'm gonna bring this a little closer. And I am not gonna put any fixative on here. I'm not even gonna put like a wax paper or parchment paper. I'm simply just going to close the book, and you know, if some of the oil pastel gets on the opposite page, I'm totally fine with that. But you know, if you were concerned, then you could apply fixative. But anyways, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.